All right, if you want to use a stick for your brief check-in, you can do that. I will go without. We were just commenting before we started that it's feeling colder in our homes, so it's good incentive to move, but we'll just kind of stay still for a moment and get ourselves to a point where we're in our bodies, preparing ourselves, continuing to wake up. And just assessing what's happening in our bodies, anything we need to pay attention to, anything that needs a little extra TLC. And seeing if we can enjoy movement. These mornings are more a practice of moving so that it helps us throughout our day. It's not just simply a list of exercises, of things to do. Putting hope in the fact that it might help us, but just really sensing, actively discerning that there's benefit and that we can tie that benefit directly from what it is that we do here to what it is that happens in the rest of our day. Otherwise, what's the point? So maybe spend a little extra time challenging yourself as to where you can find additional benefit. And when we're done during the day, remembering and recalling what it is that you did that helps you with the activities of your day. I think that's fun sometimes. Remembering maybe how much I hated doing a movement, but realizing, yeah, I guess that did help me do this. We'll just take a few more moments here. And we'll continue with that awareness, and we'll just start by walking forward and backward, and we're just going to accentuate the pace being slow. We really want to feel our feet engaging with the floor, so as you're walking forward, you're going to feel that heel to toe contact with the ground. And as you walk backward, you'll feel toe to heel. So in the place that you have, go ahead and begin that walk. The steps can be just normal steps. We're not exaggerating anything other than maybe the slowness of the pace. And maybe make it slow enough that you feel yourself saying something like, why am I doing it this slow? Really exaggerate the slowness. Maybe to the point where it almost annoys you. And then ask yourself, why am I annoyed by that? We'll continue with the walk, but we're just going to swing our leg out in a big arc. and then bring the foot down onto the floor just like we've been doing. So the only thing that is different is we're just swinging that leg out. We're still trying to maintain the pace that we just set. See how that maybe tweaks your balance a little bit, especially if you're going really, really slow. So just finish the direction you're moving in. And then we're going to challenge our balance a little bit. We're going to pick one leg and you're going to balance on it. And then with the opposite arm, you're going to reach down towards the floor. So you don't have to get to the floor right away. You can start by maybe reaching for your knee, but after you've done that, you're going to come back up and then you're going to reach high for the ceiling. So I'll start on my left foot and I'm going to use my right arm to reach toward the floor and then up to the ceiling. Begin that process trying to maintain balance with only a light toe touch if you need to with the opposite foot. Still breathing as you go through this process. Do one more. And then you can shake that out a little bit. Then we'll just go to the other side. So same thing, just opposite leg and arm. Again, start conservatively. Make sure you can feel that balance before you work your way lower to the floor. Keep it together, Jude. One more time. And then you can shake that out. And we'll go to heel toe rockers again. So we want to make sure to really accentuate those endpoints as high as you can on your toes, maybe even pause there. Then pulling those toes up as much as you can. Feeling the front part of the legs engage in order to keep you from pressing your hips back, trying to keep that long, straight, vertical position of the body as we pull the toes up. Still breathing as you do this. One more in each direction. And we can shake that loose. We'll work back to the shoulders and arms now. So we're going to just do slow controlled arm circles forward and backward. So together we'll raise both arms forward, drawing those shoulders down as we raise the arms up. In that up position, we're going to pull back as far as we can and then begin the process of widening out, pulling back as we do that. All the way down. And then we'll rotate the hands once again so the palms are facing back. Once we come to that original position, then we'll pull back as far as we can, then rotate those arms out and then pull up and back. Just reversing the process. And then down in front. Again, we're really trying to keep the shoulders engaged through the shoulder blades, trying to hold those shoulders down throughout the whole range of motion. So let's do that one more time, up and back. There we go. And then once we reach that end point, then we'll pull back and work our way up and out in good spinal alignment as we do this. Able to breathe in and out. Very good. Okay, back to balance. So we're going to pick one leg, we're going to balance on it. The other leg, we're going to hurdle forward. So I'm going to bring my knee up and forward. And then if you need a light touch, you can do that on the ground, but we're just going to keep hurdling that knee up and over. We're thinking about how high we can get the knee up and work that knee around. If you need to hold on to something or a wall or something, you can do that. Just a gentle touch. And trying to keep the upper body as straight as we can and not lean too much to accommodate the hip movement. Let's do one more on this side. And then we'll shake it out and we'll repeat on the other leg. When you're ready, you can begin that process. Do one more. And shake it loose. Same concept, we'll just reverse direction. So we'll bring the knee up forward and then swing it back. Still breathing. Do one more. And then you can shake everything loose and we'll repeat on the other side. One more time. And then shake it loose. We'll do just a single leg hinge, then we'll alternate legs. So all you're going to do is you're going to bring the heel down, pull that toe back, and you're just going to gently hinge forward as far as you comfortably can. Then come back up to the standing position, reset your feet, bring that other heel down, pull the toe back, and then hinge forward. And then alternating legs, and if you want to add a same side arm circle with that, you can do that. So left arm with left leg, right arm with right leg. Again, the more straight and vertical you can keep that spine, the less you'll have to hinge in order to feel that stretch. Let's do one more to each side. Very good. If you need a drink, you can grab that, and we'll get ready to roll here. So you'll need some handheld weights. You'll need a stick, and there's the option of using a band. So if you want to have a band available, you can do that. We'll be on the ground. We'll be on our feet, and we'll be doing all sorts of different stuff with our little toys. So we will begin on the floor, and we're going to do a hamstring emphasis bridge. So what we'll do is instead of being in a traditional bridge with your feet flat, what we're going to do is we're going to extend so instead of my lower leg here being vertical, I'm going to go a little bit more out, which is going to make my hamstring engage a little bit more. So just be a little conservative on how straight you keep your legs in order to protect your lower back or your hamstrings. So we'll start in about 10 seconds. You can either do a bridge hold or up and down. Arms will stay flat on the floor. In 2, 1, and here we go. You can be up and hold, or you can go up and down. Again, we're trying to drive the heels into the floor as we press the hips up. In this position, you should feel a little bit more engagement through your hamstrings, the upper part of the back thigh. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1, and then down. We'll go back to the conventional bridge. We're going to hold that position, and then we're going to do a Y-arm movement with the arms. So if you want to use a little extra weight here, you can do that. Or you can just do the movement free of weight. So remember, as we bridge, we're driving those heels down and we're pulling the toes up. Okay? Here we go in 3, 2, and 1, bridging up. And then as you're ready, Y arms. Holding that bridge position up. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips, roll to one side, and you can press yourself up to the floor or up to your feet. So go back to a balance challenge here. All we're going to do is we're going to stand tall. We're going to balance on one foot, and then the opposite leg, we're going to raise the knee up and then cross the foot over, try and drop it down close to the floor, and then back up and over. So it's just a gentle crossover. Seeing if you can do that without touching the floor, but getting that foot as close to the floor as you can. Okay, so pick your foot, and here we go. Again, trying to get the knee up as high as we can as we raise it up, and then bringing that foot as close to the floor as we can as we lower it. If you need to do a gentle touch, that's okay. Fifteen more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And shake that loose, and we'll repeat that on the other leg. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Just start with a range of motion that works, and then you can slowly expand it from there. Again, we want to default to the balance, so try to protect your balance or your ability to balance on one leg. 15 more seconds. Three, two, and one, and shake it loose. With dumbbells in hand, we're going to do Y arms. So from this position, we're going to just open up, just like what we did on the floor, but now we're standing. Give it a little bit different feel. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Again, those shoulders are drawn down as we open and close the arms. Trying to keep the elbows straight without locking them out. Feet are anchored to the floor, 3 points of contact through your spine. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We'll be doing a squat pulse next. So we're just going to hold a low position. We're just going to pulse in that position. So if you want to have a little weight in your hands, you can do that. You can go without weight as well, your choice. But again, we're just going to stay low, and then we're just going to pulse in that low position. Okay. Start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, and here we go. Body is up. Hips sit down, the feet are flat. 20 more seconds. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Again, you can continue with weight if you'd like. Alternating backward lunge or step back lunge. So that step back is a light touch with the foot as we keep weight on the forward leg. And we'll just alternate legs. Starting in 10 seconds, wait if you want it. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Fifteen more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Grabbing your sticks. We're going to keep the sticks in the upright overhead position or at shoulder height, and we're just going to rotate circular with our bodies. So the sticks at shoulder height, or if you can, up overhead. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Just rotating with the body. You can experiment with different transitional points. Not always changing direction at the same spot. Seeing how your body responds to that. Trying to keep that stick above the head as much as possible and just rotate the body from there. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and shake it loose. Okay, this is going to be a little complicated, but we're going to try and do that same thing we just did from the belly button up, but we're going to add an overhead step with it, or excuse me, a forward step with it. So I'm going to try and rotate my body as I'm stepping forward. Okay, so do the best you can with that. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1, here we go. A little funky, but that's how we roll. Fifteen more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Stick off to the side. We'll prepare to go back to the ground. And we'll start by doing a conventional bridge, and we're going to flutter our arms, which essentially means we're just going to do this pattern with the arms as we lie on our backs. Okay. And then we'll introduce an arm movement with or without weights after that. So bridge with flutter arms. We'll start in about 10 seconds. And we're going to try and hold the bridge position as well as we can. Starting in 5, in 2, 1, here we go. Once you're up, then you can just start fluttering those arms. One palm will be on the floor while the back of the opposite hand will be on the floor. Trying to pull those toes up as we drive the heels down, raising those hips up as high as we can. Three, 2, and 1. This time as we hold the bridge pattern, we're going to do X arms. So our arms are going to leave at an opposite diagonal. They'll come back up and then leave at the opposite diagonal. Trying to hold that bridge position the whole time. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1, here we go. If you can't hold the bridge, then you can do the X arm position with your back flat on the floor. So do the best you can. You can only do a bridge for part of the time, that's fine. And then just allow your back to gently come down to the floor and continue with the X arms. Fifteen more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Roll to one side, press yourself up. And we're back on our feet. So what we'll do next is what we did in the prep, which is that forward hurdler, that balanced hurdler. But what I want you to try to do is expand your range of motion beyond what you did in the prep as a part of the work. Okay. So challenge your balance as well as you can. Pick the foot that you want to use to balance on and then hurdle with the opposite leg moving forward. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. That's it. Make it a good balance challenge. 15 more seconds. Three, two, and one. Shake it out, and we'll repeat the same thing on the other leg in 10 seconds. All right, here we go in 2, 1. Same process, other side. That's it. See how you can challenge yourself. Ten more seconds. Three, two, and one. Shaking it loose. We will do X arms again, this time standing. So from this position, opening up at a diagonal, coming together, and then back to the opposite diagonal. You're trying to stay nice and tall with the body, giving yourself a good anchor point for your arms. Starting in 5 seconds. In 2, 1. Here we go. Trying to open up the arms into the plane of your body if you can. Resisting the urge to shrug the shoulders to control the movement. Ten seconds left. Three, two, and one. Moving back to legs. If you want to use weight, you can do that. We're going to squat two-legged. Then when we come up, we'll come into a single leg balance position. Both feet down, squat, come back up in the opposite balance position. We'll start in 10 seconds. You can use weight if you'd like. You might want to keep your feet a little more narrow to accommodate the single leg balance. 2, 1, here we go. Pause and hold that balance. Prove that you can hold it before stepping down and repeating that squat. Ten seconds left. Three, two, and one. If you want to use weights still, you can do that. We're going to lateral lunge. So we're moving right and left. Trying to take a big step. Let the stepping leg, allow that hip, knee, and ankle to bend. The opposite leg will stay straight, and then we'll transition back to the other side. Starting in 10 seconds. Give yourself space. Know which direction you want to move in. Starting in 2, 1. Here we go. Twenty more seconds. Ten left. 3, 2, and 1. Grabbing our sticks. You might want to start wide and then slowly work narrow. We're just going to bring the stick up and then open the shoulders up. So you're going as far back as you can without arching, without craning your neck, trying to keep that 3 points of contact position to allow your arms to move through that. Okay. Start in 5 seconds. Anchor those feet. 2, 1. Here we go. Want to keep the elbows straight throughout the whole range of motion, from the front to the back. It's all about your own mobility, so just do the best you can, kind of feel your way through it. You should be able to breathe throughout this whole range of motion. There's no point where you have to hold your breath. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Now we'll kind of do a modified version of that with the stick, but we're going to add a forward step or lunge. So as I step forward, I'm going to bring that stick up and then I'm going to reach back, come back to standing, and then repeat on the opposite leg. How big of a step you take is totally up to you. It's going to be a balance challenge. So just do the best you can with it. We'll start in 5 seconds. And 2, 1, here we go. The longer the step that you take, the more you're going to feel a stretch in that back hip. So that might be your limiting point of the movement. Just kind of experiment with it. See what you can get out of this movement. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Sticks back off to the side. We're going to go back to the floor on our backs. This time we're going to try to bridge with a single leg. So we're going to alternate the legs. So you can have just maybe a light touch with the opposite heel until you feel like you can assume the weight with one leg at a time. So just kind of play with that. Maybe shift your weight from one leg to the other. But we're going to try and bridge up and down with one leg at a time. And then we'll add an arm exercise to it after that. Arms can be on the ground or you can hold them up if you want to further challenge that way as well. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Keep breathing. About 15 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. We'll now do that bridge hold and we'll do I arms. So the letter I, I'm just going to raise the arms up overhead till the backs of the hands reach the ground. If you can do it that far, you can use weight or go without weight in your hands. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, in 3, 2, and 1. Bridging up, and then begin the I-arm process. Again, we want to resist the temptation of shorter shoulders here as well. Keep those shoulders drawn down. Five more seconds. 2, 1, and down. Roll to one side to press yourself up. Back to single leg balance. What we'll do then is we'll arc swing the opposite leg around as far as we can. So like we did with the hurdler movement, we want to challenge that range of motion as much as we possibly can, okay? We want to stay as tall and as vertical as we can as we swing that leg around. Pick your leg, we'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Twenty seconds left. Five more seconds. 2, 1, both feet down, shake it loose. Same thing on the other leg. We'll start in 5 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. Comparing and contrasting one side versus the other. We want to feel equally competent on each leg. That's the goal. And trust both sides. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it loose. So we'll do I arms again. Okay, so I arms standing up into this position and then back down. It's probably the weakest position, so you might want to adjust accordingly on the weight you're going to use. We'll start in 10 seconds. Start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Draw those shoulders down as you raise the arms up. 3 points of contact through your spine. We're not craning the neck or arching the back to accommodate range of motion. Fifteen more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Working our legs again. Just going to do a plain old boring squat. So use as much or as little weight as you want. Go at a pace that you want, just ensuring that you're using full range of motion all the way down and all the way up. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Fifteen more seconds. It's like rehearsing lifting something off the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Continue to use weight if you'd like. Not a requirement. See, what do we got here? Alternating bowler's lunge. So we're going to swing behind gently and then alternate to the other side. Try to keep the center of the body in the same spot as well as you can. Starting in 5 seconds. In 2, 1. Here we go. Fifteen more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Grabbing our sticks. We will do a side lean. So again, stick can be at collarbone height or raised over your head. And we're just going to lean with the body side to side. We want to make sure that the feet stay as flat as you can throughout your whole range of motion. Start in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Leaning with the body, trying to keep the arms in that same position in relationship to your head. Opening up the ribs and the hips. Challenging those end ranges of motion. Twenty more seconds. Ten left. 3, 2, and 1. Shake that out. We'll add that same side lean to a backward step. So every time I step back, I'm going to lean in that direction. So I step back with the right, I lean right, step back with the left, lean left. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge step, just enough to kind of offset your balance a little bit. We'll start in 5 seconds. Pick your direction. 2, 1. Here we go. This gives it a little bit different feel. We're not rotating at all, keeping our body square and just stepping straight back and then leaning from there. Twenty more seconds. Five seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Sticks off to the side. We'll go back to the ground one final time. We'll see how far we can get through some of this. Just a plain old bridge. So if you wanted a little extra challenge, you can hold your arms off the floor, pointing your fingers straight up to the ceiling. Okay. We'll follow that up with a bridge and a fly with the arms. Well, one thing at a time. It's the regular bridge. If you can't hold the bridge, you can gently raise and lower your hips. We'll start in 10 seconds. Starting in 5, 2, 1. Here we go. Driving those heels into the floor. Pulling those toes up off the floor if you can. Drawing the shoulders down. Lengthening the neck. "15 more seconds. Five left. 2, 1, and gently down. So in that position, we'll just add a fly or a T-arm movement with the arms. If you're getting too tuckered out, then just try to go back to the regular bridge, either the up and down or the static hold. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. Coordinate your breath with the movement of your arms if you are doing the arms. We have 20 more seconds. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Hips down. Roll to one side to push yourselves up. And in a single leg balance, we're just going to press a heel back. So in this position, we're just going to press back as far as we can, come back up, and then repeat that process without putting the foot down. Pick your foot. We'll start in 5 seconds. Starting in 2, 1, here we go. Pushing that foot as far back as you can, trying to lead with the heel, not with the point of your toe. Trying to push back with the heel to really engage through the hip. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. We'll repeat that on the other leg, starting in 10 seconds. In 5, 2, 1, here we go. Again, like we talked about before, just comparing and contrasting one side versus the other. Noting what feels different or what seems the same. Striving to be equally competent on either side. Want to be able to trust both sides. Not always have to defer or default to what we think is the better side. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Grab a quick drink if you want it. Just wind down here a little bit. We'll just start with ankle circles. So one toe on the floor and then just rotating circular form with your ankle. The hip and the knee have to be loose to accommodate that range of motion. And as you're ready, you can switch to the other foot. Same thing. And then both feet down, both feet together, hands just above the knees, and we'll rotate the knees around circular as well. And we want to be feeling loose in the ankles and the hips to accommodate the knees. One more time in each direction. And we'll come up, hip or feet at hip width, shoulders stationary, and then we'll rotate the hips. Again, maybe experimenting with where you do that transition, a change of direction. See how your body accommodates that. One more time in each direction. And then feet together, we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg, reaching up with the left arm, grabbing that wrist with your right hand, then with the right hand, pull the arm up and then over. So it's literally like we're feeling this pull in kind of an arc position as much as you can while holding balance. Still able to breathe. And then we'll gently come up. We'll release that grip, arms down, unfurl the legs, shake it loose a little bit. Left arm is crossed over the right, or left leg is crossed over the right, reaching up with the right arm, grabbing that wrist with the left hand, then pulling up and over. Still able to breathe. Gently coming back up, releasing that grip. Arms down, shake it loose. One time, we're going to walk those fingers down the legs as far as you comfortably can. Pause for an extended period in the down position. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Now let's walk those fingers back up. As we stand tall, we'll reach tall with a big inhale. And then extend those arms out as we exhale all the way down. When our arms are down, our exhale should be done. And we will call this workout done for the day. Good job.